Oh shit! My camera. Oh, the lights are on. Whoops. Well, hence the name Bottom Tier Podcast. If I had to, I couldn't put it in any better way or term than that. Mr. Poopjecks. Psst, Mr. Poopjecks. Psst, Mr. Poop. How was your week, Mr. Poopjecks?
Pretty fucking boring.
Oh yay, great. Thanks for adding riveting commentary with pretty fucking boring.
I'm not gonna make stuff up.
I'm gonna have a fucking panic attack with you, you little fuck. News. What happened during the last week? Nothing. Last week was boring as fuck. Nothing happened. Avengers is coming out. I'm not excited because I don't care. Prince Harry is blaming Fortnite because parents are lazy and irresponsible. What else? That's about it. Really is. Can we talk about that for a second? Actually, how fucking dumb the fact that Prince Harry wants to ban Fortnite is. Not in Fortnite's defense, but let's just assume it's any other video game, right? Like, it's one of the dumbest things, right? It's like, oh, video game addiction. Let's ban the video game. There's alcohol addiction, gambling addiction, all that stuff. And a majority of people, right, put the blame of those things on the people, the victims themselves, right? Like, if you didn't start drinking alcohol like a psychopath, you wouldn't be an alcoholic, right? If you didn't gamble half your life savings away, you wouldn't be addicted to gambling, right? Right? Are you following me so far?
Yes.
So let me throw a huge, like, oh my god, blow your mind shit out here to how this is not the kid's fault but the parents' fault. If you don't buy your kid a fucking Xbox, he's not gonna play video games. Like, is that not just like...
He'll just play at a friend's house.
It's not the same, though. Like, oh, my kid's glued to his Xbox. Why'd you buy it? Why do you keep providing the internet access for the Xbox? Fortnite doesn't work without the internet access. Cancel the internet or strip it from his Xbox. You can do that. As a parent, you have the power and I assume the right as a parent to cancel your kid's Xbox subscription. Like, it's the stupidest shit to me. They're like, we need to ban these video games because these kids are getting addicted and blah, blah, blah. It's like, don't fucking buy the video game for your kid. Like, I know Fortnite is free, but you still had to drop $300 on an Xbox One or a PlayStation or, God forbid, a PC, right? You still had to fucking pump that money out. So it's still your fault. You know what I mean? Like, I was just talking to one of my friends, and he's like, yeah, my kid's 3 years old, and I started letting him play Mario Kart. And he's like, and that little kid goes crazy when I don't let him play, but, like, even though he cries and he kicks and he screams, I don't let him play because I know that, you know, sooner or later he's just only going to want to play Mario Kart and never do anything else. It's like, oh, man, crazy. Almost like other parents are doing the exact opposite. And they're like, oh, my kid's kicking and screaming. Let me just hand him his Nintendo DS. Like, I feel like I'm going to put my glasses on because I can already feel my head is going to start fucking exploding right now. Like, it's almost like the parents have some sort of control over what happens to their kids. It's crazy. Like, I'm not saying that it's like okay, it's all the parents' fault, right? But, like, still, like, you can stop your kid from playing Fortnite. You know what I mean? Like, your kid is not the boss of you. And if your kid is the boss of you, you're a shitty parent. Like, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, sweetheart. But if your kid's bossing you around, you are the problem in that relationship. Because your kid should not be bossing you around. at all. Like,
But listen, mister.
all right, hit me with it.
If I don't let him play, he just starts whining and being loud, and I come home from work and I just want to get in my bed and go to sleep. So the only thing I can get him to be quiet is let him play those video games.
Exactly. It's almost like you're giving your kids drugs to mellow him out, and that he's now addicted to. Crazy, right? It's weird how that shit would work. It's fucking, I don't know. When I was reading all this shit about the fucking the what's it call it? Oh, I gotta fix something. About all like the how he wanted like ban Fortnite and shit. I was blown the fuck away. Like, not even, I wasn't even like, oh, that's understandable. You know what I mean? No, not in the slightest was I like, oh yeah, you know what, that makes sense. You know what I mean? He's trying to get rid of the problem. Like, no, the shitty parenting is the problem. And the my biggest like annoyance with it, I guess, is that like um fuck, what was I getting at? I lost my train of thought like immediately. My biggest problem with it is that the parents are all like getting behind that. You know what I mean?
What, to ban it?
Yeah, like they're all like, "Oh yeah, like it's Fortnite is the problem." You know what I mean? Like, "Oh, it's such a bad thing, and my kid's addicted to it, and it's all Fortnite's fault." And it's like, no, it's not. Fortnite is simply a video game that you at any time can stop your child from using. At any point in the day, you can walk up to little old Jimmy's room, right? And be like, "Jimmy, shut it down. No more video games." And then if Jimmy starts kicking and screaming, you just let him fucking kick and scream. Like, sometimes,
How am I gonna get me time if he does that?
like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like the people who are like agreeing to ban this shit are like the weakest fucking people right now. And they just like, they're lazy ass parents who are just looking for an excuse to be like, "Oh yeah, it's the game's fault, not the fact that I'm too lazy to deal with my kid." You know what I mean? It's just like,
It has to be the game's fault, because otherwise it's my fault, and that's not true.
exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like it's impossible. It's impossible for it to be the parents' fault. Again, like I said, I know the kid's not completely without fault, right? And that like Fortnite does have like addicting characteristics to it. But it's like, dude, fuck right off. You're gonna ban it against the whole world because your kid got addicted to it because you as a fucking parent can't control your fucking kid. Like, that's the biggest load of bullshit I ever heard in my life. Like, I was watching fuck, what show is it? It's like a show where they do like social experiments, right? And they walk into a restaurant and the kid's playing Fortnite on the tablet. And then he's being like really rude. They're actors, right? He's being like really rude to his parents because he's playing Fortnite on the tablet. And then
Oh,
like,
I think I've seen some clips of this.
yeah, and the mom, like, there's like a black lady with like her family, and she's like, yeah, like he plays it. She's like, yeah, he plays it all the time. Like, the actor lady's like, we can't get him off of it. And the little black kid, right, is just like,
yes,
you could just take it away. And he goes, you know what, you're right. And he fucking like snatches it, and like almost breaks the tablet out of the kid's hand. You know what I mean? It's like, man, dude, you know what? That 10-year-old kid, who is, let me repeat, like 10 years old, is smarter than 90% of the parents who have this Fortnite addiction problem. Like a 10-year-old fucking kid solved your problem. Like you're that fucking dumb.
200 IQ that kid has.
Like it it blows my mind that people are like it's Fortnite's fault. Man, how dare they make a good video game? A bunch of assholes. No one ever tries to ban Star Wars because their kid's like obsessed with it. You know what I mean? Like it's so stupid. It like especially when I saw like all the support. You know what I mean? Like all the support that it was getting saying like yes, ban the video game. It's like you do know that if you ban Fortnite, it will be replaced with something else.
Yeah.
And then
They'll
they're
just
like,
go play Call of Duty
yeah, they'll go play
or get
Apex.
on Apex.
No, and then it's like video game addiction's like a legitimate thing now. And it's like what? Like, what? What do you? This is so. And then it's I don't know. I guess it's fair to be like okay, you can your kid could get addicted to video games, but it's as easy to treat as any other addiction, right? Where you're like, okay, Jimmy, you only get to play 2 hours a day, right? And then you're like, all right, Jimmy, only 1 hour a day. All right, Jimmy, that's it, just 1 hour a day. You know what I mean? Like, he's gonna be kicking and screaming, but then sooner or later he's gonna pick up, I don't know, wood carving or some dumb shit, right? I carve wood all the time. I never make anything with it, right? Like I'll carve the wood and I'll make like a little pointy shape, and then I'll just end up carving it down to where there's nothing left. I do this shit all the time, but I do it because like it's therapeutic, right? Like I carve the
Hmm.
wood. As I'm carving the wood, like next thing you know, I've been carving wood for like half an hour, and I'm really sleepy and tired, and then I go to sleep. You know what I'm saying?
Where are you grabbing the wood from?
I buy it. What the fuck do you mean? Where am I
Oh,
grabbing the wood from? I purchase it.
I was just wondering. I didn't know if you
I
bought it
have
or
a
not.
I have a wood carving addiction, projects. I must be stopped. It's just like get your kid some like weird like time spending activity, right? Buy him like a soldering machine and let him like solder like motherboards back together or some shit. You know what I mean? Or here's my like groundbreaking idea that I know is gonna blow the new parents that are complaining about all the millennials and how they're gonna destroy the United States even though they're trying to ban a video game because they're lazy parents. It's gonna destroy all their minds. And I'm gonna hit you with this real quick, right? I know
Right.
you're tired from work, right? And I get it. You have an office desk job where you get yelled at by some boss for 8 hours a day, and then you come home and your kid's yelling at you because you're not letting them play video games. Why don't you try spending time with your fucking kid? Like,
Too much work.
like fucking honestly, like they're like, oh, kids don't go outside and play that much anymore. Yeah, because like, who the fuck wants to go outside and play with the fucking bully next door when you could fucking kill him in Fortnite? Like, I wouldn't want to play with the bully next door either. Maybe you should try, I don't know, riding a bike with your kid. You know what I mean? Or taking your dog out with your son or daughter for walks. You don't even have to fucking talk to him. Just walk around the neighborhood with your child to get him away from the TV screen. I don't. And they're like, I don't know how to get him away from the TV screen. He's glued to it. You turn it off, and you let him bitch and moan until he falls asleep. Like, it's like there's a thing in like when you have like a little baby, right? Where like people will teach their kid how to self-soothe to make their kid more independent. And that's like when they cry, you know what I mean? You don't hold them and coddle them. Like you just make sure that they haven't like pooped or that you're like they ate like, like 20 minutes ago. They should be good. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But they're just crying for attention. Like you let them self soothe, right? You let them cry it out. You know what I'm saying? Try that with your 10-year-old. Let them cry it out. Them bitch and moan in their room for fucking ever. You know what I mean? Like, it's literally the worst thing that can happen is he breaks his knuckles trying to punch a hole through the wall. And then it's just a quick, easy fix the hole in the wall and let his knuckle grow back all crooked and shit because he was being an idiot. Like, maybe you shouldn't punch the hole in the wall and your fucking middle finger wouldn't be, 5 inches back, you dumb idiot. Acting like a fucking crazy kid. But I don't know. Obviously, that's the extreme. I don't want your kids to fucking break holes in walls. But I feel like the video game addiction that's like taking over the youth, like the fucking Black Plague, can easily be dealt with if you just stop being a lazy fucking parent. Like, yeah, I'm sorry you're going to have to put in effort for raising your kid, but I'm going to tell you this right now. Your kid did not ask you to be born. Right? He did not pop into your mind and say, I want to be born to play video games and be addicted to them. No, you brought that kid into the world. You introduced him to video games. You gave him everything he needed to be addicted to them. So you, as the parent, need to deal with that shit, not the video game company. Why? Because they're taking advantage of your dumbass mistakes as a parent. I never let Isabella and Sophie play video games that often for that same reason. Sophia used to watch Jake Paul on YouTube, and I used to just shut that shit off. I just walk in, the second I saw his face, I'd turn off the computer. Like, you're not allowed to watch it. Guess what? She doesn't watch Jake Paul anymore. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that magical how that shit works?
How did you do that?
I turned off the computer screen, projects. It has an off button, dog. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that wild how that works? Fucking magic. Yeah. You hit the little button that has the little glowing light on it, and it turns it off. And then you tell them that if they turn it back on, they in trouble. And then they don't turn it back on. It's crazy. I know it's not that easy.
Wow.
I know it's not that easy for every kid, right? I know some kids are a lot more rebellious and a lot more like, fuck you, mom. I do what I want. I watch enough Jake Paul to know that I don't need you. We make $1 million. You know what I mean? I understand that. But the problem is that you let your kid get to that point. So it's still your fault. You gotta nip it in the bud when it's happening. Sophie doesn't watch Jake Paul anymore. I make fun of her for watching Jake Paul, and she gets pissed. She's like, I don't even watch him anymore. Blah! She gets all mad. And that's how I know she doesn't watch him. You know what I mean? Because otherwise she would react differently. But that's just Sophie. I understand, like I said, that it's different for each kid, but that process, that step should still be the same regardless. You know what I mean? It's like the step should be stopping allowing your kid to do the destructive behavior that they're doing. Otherwise,
stop kid from doing cocaine. You don't let him take cocaine.
My kid's addicted to heroin. I don't know how it happened. He brought it home one day, and he's like, look, Mom, heroin. And I was like, cool, whatever, Jimmy. I don't got time for you.
Sometimes I buy it from him, but I don't know why he's addicted to it.
I buy it for him. I introduced him to his junkie, but I don't know how he got addicted to it. I pumped the first needle into his arm, but it's crazy how he got addicted to it out of nowhere. You know what? We should ban heroin. Oh, wait. Heroin's already banned. People still do it. What a surprise. It's so dumb, man. It's so stupid to me. The whole banning of the video game thing. Like, and I feel like it's even stupider for someone like Prince Harry, right? To just like say shit like this, and it has so much counter argument, and his like argument doesn't hold any weight because it's just like, at the end of the day, it just sounds like lazy parenting. Like, oh man, these 10, 12-year-old kids are getting addicted to video games because their parents, work 8 hours a day, and then when they come home, they don't want to deal with their kids, and instead they go out and drink at a bar. And leave their kid with the babysitter. Babysitter's not going to deal with your fucking kid. Like, of course you're going to let them play Fortnite. It keeps them quiet. You know what I mean? Like it's the equivalent of giving your kids a fucking a sedative, right? Like you put some fucking like some NyQuil in his fucking baby bottle and you put him to sleep. Like that's the equivalent of what you've done. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's maybe not as immoral because you're fucking drugging your kids in the other.
Ed.
You know what I mean? Like it's a little worse when you drug your kids, but if you're complaining about addiction, like it's still your fault. Like, and the thing is, it's always like these like parents who want their kids to like be like this perfect like poster child. You know what I mean? They have like they have like the sweaters around their necks and shit. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Like the country club moms. I just I don't know how Jimmy is addicted to video games. His dad works 85 hours with his secretary every week. I host parties that he thinks are boring, and for the upper class where you have to act proper, and he's 10, he doesn't give a shit. He just wants to play video games with his friends or play outside, but I don't let him play outside because he'll get dirty. So I let him play video games, and I just don't get how he's addicted to it. So, let's call in Detective Holmes for this one. It's a difficult one. It's a hard one to understand on that. Like, I don't know. I think at the end of the day, it comes down to I think like one of the bigger problems, or like an easier way to solve this big problem, is for parents to stop being fucking lazy and deal with their fucking kids. And and I think like in a wider perspective, it's like this Care Bear attitude that we've come to adopt in the world lately. It's fucking over like everybody. You know what I mean? Like I am not opposed to spanking your children, right? Like
Yeah.
I believe there is a line between like spanking and like beating your kids. And some kids that I see nowadays, I think parents should get like a free license to beat the shit out of their kids, cuz holy shit. I see some kids where I'm just like, you need to get a fucking tooth knocked out of you. You know what I mean? Like fucking hell. But anyway, like I was never opposed to a spanking. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, if your kid's kicking and screaming and calling you names and something, and you give them a little backhand, right, on the mouth for talking all that shit, or you spank them in the butt for like being a little fucker, and then you get put in jail, like shit. Now I understand why a parent's not trying to spank their kids. You know what I mean? But then everybody complains that the kids nowadays are not disciplined and they're a bunch of little shits. It's like, yeah, maybe if you let me fucking knock a tooth out of him for talking back every single chance he gets, he wouldn't talk back as much because he's want to get a tooth knocked out of him. Like, they grow up with such little consequence that they're just assholes because they understand that there is no like the kids at schools, right? Like I've seen videos and like I've seen news reports where kids will like be talking shit to a teacher, and the teacher's like, get out of my room, get out of my room, and then like the kid like gets like hostile and physical, and then he gets fucking dropped and they sue the school. Like, yo son, you got physical, you started pushing your teacher. That as soon as you lay hands on your teacher, you have lost the right to sue, in my opinion. Like, the teacher has done nothing to you besides tell you to get out of his room because you're being a hostile, loudmouth little shit. And then he fucking drops you like a sack of potatoes and you're mad about it? Maybe you shouldn't have got fucking dropped. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna act like a tough little badass, maybe, just maybe, you shouldn't get dropped by your 80-year-old teacher with a fucking mullet. Like, that's just fucking me, though. I don't know. Because I've seen some of these where the teacher's like kind of holding the kid back and the kid's like pushing forward. You know what I mean? Like fuck you, like blah blah blah, you're a fucking dirty bitch, like all this shit, right? And then like they go to like hit the kid and the teacher like picks him up and like drops him on the floor, like DDT, like I just fucking suplex your shit. And then the teacher gets fired for abuse of the student. Like, that's why these kids are fucking pieces of shit. Because they know you're either going to lose your fucking job or you're just going to let them fuck with you. And it's like, no fucking wonder, dude. No fucking wonder. I feel like if a kid, especially in like a school situation, right? If a kid lays hands on a teacher in like a physical, like confronting manner, like he pushes a teacher, and the teacher drops that kid, the teacher has like 100% immunity to getting fired for that. You know what I mean? Like, like there should be like a law where as soon as you touch a teacher like that, like where you push him or you punch him, the teacher now gains full, like not access, but like a full like pardon. Like it's all self defense. Because the thing is, like, if someone punches you on the street and you defend yourself, you can plead self defense, right? But if someone punches you at school and you're a teacher, you've already lost. Like, even though you, like, let's say he knocks your tooth out and all you do is put him on the ground and like pin him so he stops acting like a fucking psychopath until the school security gets there, right? You're still getting fucking fired. And it's like, that is not okay because it's self defense, my dude. Especially in something like a high school. Those kids are as big as you, some of them bigger than you. They should understand at this point the difference between right and wrong. And if they punch a teacher, they should like, the reason they punch that teacher is because they are fully confident that teacher's not gonna punch back, right? Because they know that the teachers can't do shit to them. Why? Because all these videos where the teachers are getting fucking fired. Like, you could find like 6 or 7 stories easy if you just Google like teacher gets fired for self-defense, right? So all these kids are like, oh, you can't fucking touch me. Like, you want to lose your job, dude? I punch you right now. You won't fucking do nothing. And they're like, oh, he hit me. I'm suing the school. He knocked my tooth out, man. Like, no shit. You deserve to get your fucking tooth knocked out. Little fucking asshole. Been a very cuss-friendly stream today. It just blows my mind that, like, you give kids such little consequence and then you're surprised that they are the way they are. It's like the people that they like think, you know, the leash thing with the little kids,
Oh yeah,
and people are like,
they have like a harness around them or something.
yeah, well, it's what it is. 90% of the times, what it is a little teddy bear backpack.
Yeah.
But at the bottom of the teddy bear, there's a little string that comes up, and you use it as a leash. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And people are always like, "That's inhumane. Your kid is not a dog." It's like, all right, listen here, bitch. You're the mom that's crying at Disneyland because you can't find your fucking kid. All right? You want to know who's not crying at Disneyland because they can't find their fucking kid and that kid didn't get kidnapped? The one that's on a fucking leash.
The one that has a teddy bear backpack on him.
The one that has the teddy bear backpack and is strapped down to mama. That's who's not fucking crying and complaining they can't find their kid at Disneyland. I'll tell you something. Like, it blows my mind, dude. It's like, oh, we've become more lazy as parents, and somehow we're surprised that our kids are turning out worse. It's like, no fucking shit, your kids are turning out worse. You don't discipline your kid at home, right? So he's not afraid of consequences. And then you have access to all this shit where you see where when people actually take action to defend themselves and stuff, they end up getting fucked anyway. So you have even less fear. They grow up with no fear of any sort of consequence is the problem. You know what I mean? And it's like, no shit, your kid's gonna be a little fucker. You buy your kid a video game, no shit, he's gonna play it. Like, and that's what I'm saying, like, in the wider picture, it's like all these fucking like Care Bear ass, like, everybody matters. You can't speak to kids in the wrong way because they're sensitive, and all this bullshit is causing ripple effects everywhere. Because you can't tell a kid he's fucking stupid when he's fucking stupid. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you can't send, like, I was talking to, who the fuck was I talking to? I was talking to someone who was he's like an assistant teacher or something like that. He said that the student was like getting like really like crazy and like loud, and they were like telling him to stop or he's gonna go to the dean, and he just like threw his chair, right? And the guy who's an assistant teacher, he's like a yoked guy, like he's like a pretty buff dude, you know what I mean? Like you see him at a bar and like you're not really trying to fuck with that guy, right? Because he's like really like toned down and muscular. He's like her, and he's like, and I wanted so bad to like just like just bear hug him, right? Until like the school security got there, and he's like, no, but we just have to wait. And the kid is just like throwing a tantrum, throwing a chair around, calling me and the other teacher like pussies because we won't touch him and we won't do nothing to him. And it's like, yeah, I would want to fucking just like Sparta kick this motherfucker onto the ground too. Like, how do you just allow a kid? And then he said that like 2 days later, the kid was back in the classroom, the same exact classroom. He got suspended for like a day. Oh, you gave him a vacation day. Wow, what? How scary for that kid, right?
Bet he's not gonna do that again.
Yeah, he learned his lesson when he got sent home for a day, and he got to play Fortnite.
That's a tooth right there.
It all connects. It all connects, fellas. The Care Bear ass like everybody matters and like we all need to like hug and kiss all the time like attitude that everybody has right now is fucking up a lot more shit than people think it is. Cuz like let's put it to the fact that the reason I was mentioning his buff is because one thing he does is like Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Right? So let's assume that for a second the kid starts throwing and being hostile, being a threat to the students, right? Now as a teacher,
like a chair hits one of the students or some shit.
yeah, like he fucking pokes an eye out or like gives someone a fucking aneurysm, because he hit him with a chair. Let's assume that at that point, like as soon as he tosses the chair, right? As soon as he starts being violent, the rules are different. Now a teacher has a green light to take action if necessary, without overdoing it, right? Like you don't also not gonna like beat the kid to a bloody pulp. Like I understand there has to be a boundary.
Like when you subdue him, you start fucking beating the shit out.
You just start fucking like smacking him and like his like nose is bleeding, it's all broken. You just keep going. Fuck you, bitch! I never liked you anyway. No, but let's like assume that this guy, right, the buff dude that I was talking to, he's a friend of mine. Keeping his name out of it because I don't want him to get in trouble. Goes over, right, and is like, hey, calm down. He's like, no, fuck you. You're a pussy. You're not gonna do nothing. And he just like pops him into a headlock, right? Just kind of holds him there. Fucking drops him on the ground, makes him look like a little bitch. And then you put him back in the classroom with the same student teacher assistant, and it's just like you can like now the attitude is not like I can just stand up and throw another chair and nothing's gonna happen. No, now it's if I stand up and throw another chair, he's gonna put me in a headlock and make me look like a pussy again. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, if I stand up and throw a chair, I get to go home tomorrow. I'm gonna stand up and throw a fucking chair again. You know what I mean? Like, that's like you're basically rewarding the kid's behavior. I'm not saying you should like police baton the kid's legs until they break or something, but you need to understand that like they need to understand that their level of like attitude and like chaos has an equal level of like response, and it just doesn't anymore. You know what I mean? Like I didn't cause problems in school not because I was afraid of the teachers hitting me, but I was afraid that my mom would like fucking knock a tooth out. You know what I mean? And like that fear became respect for the fact that they are the authority, right? Like they are the ones that are in charge, and I'm just not in charge yet. I'm not old enough, you know what I mean? I haven't been through what they've been through. You know what I'm saying? And it's like my mom hit me when I was little, when I was being a little fucking booger face. You know what I mean? She never got put in jail. I also don't feel like I was beat. You know what I mean? Like, I just understood that, like, if I started acting like a fucking crazy little orangutan monkey, that I was going to get slapped back into place. Because I was not a fucking little crazy orangutan monkey.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's got to be that. Like, if you start throwing chairs, the teacher should throw chairs at you, man. What the fuck you throwing chairs for? Like, just like if you punch a teacher should be able to punch you back, man. You fucking draw blood, that teacher should be able to pop you in the fucking nose. Like, just easy.
Or at least fucking body slam his ass.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, most of the ones I've seen, the teachers don't even get like physical in the sense of like that teacher is trying to like hurt that kid and like beat him up. It's more of like, I'm just trying to get you to notice that you're gonna get fucking dropped if you don't chill out. So like they pick him up and they drop him on the ground. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I saw a video of a girl slapping another student, a girl slapping a guy, and the guy's like stop, right? In the middle of the class, the teacher's just kind of watching her, right? And then she keeps slapping him. And he's like, stop, right? Like quit your stop playing, right? And then she like close fist hits him in the jaw, and then he grabs her, like picks her up like a chokehold kind of thing, and then just like flops her onto the ground. And after that, everybody in the classroom comes in and like breaks up the fight. And it's like, oh, so it was okay when the guy was getting slapped around by her, but the second he's like, all right, you took it too far, and I need to show you that there is consequence for you acting like a crazy person, and he fucking puts you on the ground, now it's not okay? Now it's a fight? Like, it's the same thing for the teachers. Like, it's totally okay for the student to be like pushing and like hitting the teacher, but it's not okay for the teacher to drop him on the fucking ground and be like, listen, there's consequences to you acting like a fucking crazy little child. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like the parenting is getting a lot more like lax and more like, we should love our kids for who they are. Yeah, if my kid's a psycho fucking murderer, I'm not gonna love him for who he is. You know what I mean? If he turns out to like Barbies and be gay, I can live with that, but not when he's a fucking serial killer. You know what I mean? Like it's two different like levels, and they're just merging into the same. And it's like, oh, Jimmy likes to burn ants and rip the heads off of dolls, but it's just because he's special. Like, no, it's not. It's because Jimmy's turning out to be a little fucking psychopath. He's gonna be the next fucking Ted Bundy. Like, you need to stop this right now. Like, he should not be fucking torturing little animals and ripping the heads off of dolls. And it's not cool, man. Remember Sid from Toy Story? Kid was a fucking psycho. You want to know what?
He got put in his place by the toys.
Yeah, and then he got, I was going to say, and you know what? He got his fucking justice. I bet you he stopped ripping the heads off fucking toys. Fucking crazy ass Care Bear shit that everybody's into nowadays. Destroying the world. And then they fucking blame it on like, oh, it's the youth of today that's the problem. No, it's the fact that if the youth hit a police officer, the police officer can't tase his ass onto the ground. Like, that's the problem. Is that the consequence, the amount of craziness you have to do in order for the consequence to even be remotely like equal, like you have to kill somebody. You know what I mean? Like, it's not enough for you to be like shooting up like a place and you haven't killed somebody yet. Like, you have to actually murder somebody for them to like shoot you. You know what I mean? It's like that. Like, you need to stop it before it gets to that point. How do you stop it? By showing them that there is an equal consequence to their fucking action. You know what I mean? If your kid's yelling and screaming because he can't play his video game, you should be able to like at least flick him on the mouth. A good flick will hurt. You know what I mean?
Give him a good yank on the ear.
A little good little. You hear that? Stream what? I bet that fucking peaked the mic. That hurt my finger actually. Ow. I regret that. Ouch. Yeah, you give them a good little flick on the mouth. I bet you just out of the sheer shock that they got like a consequence, they'll just be like, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck just happened? I just got flicked on the mouth. And he keeps crying, just flick him on the mouth again. You know how the dog whisperer used to like go like, tss, with his like little fucking ninja fingers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like fucking Caesar Milan, your kid. You know what I mean? It's like I want to play, and he's just gonna be like, what the fuck just happened? Did I just get fucking dog whispered? And then he like, you just like kind of you keep calm, but you keep your fingers at the ready, right? You keep your fingers at the ready. You kind of keep them up like you're in like Cobra stance, like you're fucking Daniel-san. I just pictured a parent like standing on one foot with their knee up and like their two fingers like cobras, like in dodgeball. And then he starts crying again. Just hit him with a fucking fast as lightning, fucking Caesar Milan fingers. $20 says your kid's gonna give up crying because he's tired of getting fucking in the neck by your fingers.
Just overload his senses. He's not gonna know what the fuck going
Yeah,
on.
just fucking. And he's gonna be like, "The fuck just happened? My mom just have a fucking stroke?" Like, yes, mom just had a stroke because you're a little fucking crazy kid. Fucking insano, man. I don't know. I might be wrong, dude. Who knows? Maybe I'm the asshole, and you shouldn't discipline your kids in any way, and you should just let them run wild, and then complain that they run wild. But fuck, I don't know. If that's the world we live in, it's not one I want to live in. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Now that I think about it, I'm gonna do that to people now. Like if they start being annoying, right? If they start doing some dumb shit, I'm just gonna hold my fingers up, like fucking Cobra style, like. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna hold them up, and then if they do something like, just fucking, just like I'm not even gonna hit them with it, or at least depending the person. I'm not even gonna like actually hit them with it. I'm just gonna put it real close to their face, just like freak them out and be like, "What the fuck?" And then they keep doing their annoying behavior. I'm like, and she's like, "What the fuck? Like, why do you keep doing that?" It's like, just silent, just stare deeply into their eyes, as if you're gonna consume their soul. And if they do it again, just hit them with it again, real quick, lightning fingers. I wish the show was more popular so that I could just get like messages from parents being like, I just started in my kids and now they stopped doing stupid shit. Like, whoa, it works.
He was so baffled he didn't know what to do. He just stopped.
That's what I'm saying. Like I think at this point, at this day and age, kids are gonna be so surprised that you like flick them on the mouth that they're just gonna stop because they have no idea how to react. They're just gonna be so confuddled. I'm like, what do I do now? My mom just flicked my lip, and they're like, what is that metal? It tastes like metal. That's blood. You're bleeding. Fucking, she flicked my lips against my braces and they made my lips bleed. Ah! Panic! I'm gonna pass out from blood loss. I'm gonna take a drink of my root beer. This root beer from the Highland Games, dude, it's so fucking good. It's just delicious. Did you finish yours yet?
Yes, I did.
You did?
It is done.
Shout out to Bison Brew, Bison Brewing Company, right? That's who makes it. Yeah, Bison Brew. Those guys
You know what I really like about it?
badass. That it's not bubbly.
It's like a really good sipping root beer.
Yeah, I like it because it's not
taking a little sip. Pretty
uh-huh.
fucking good.
Because it's not like bubbly or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not afraid that it's gonna lose its fizz because it doesn't have fizz. You know what I mean? It's good stuff. It's good. It's good stuff, man. It's good. That's the only topic I had for today, honestly. Because nothing really interesting happened in my opinion. Tiger Woods won the fucking that golf major. His most improbable victory to date. The odds have never been more against Tiger Woods in his like entire career, and he won that fucking golf thing. So that's pretty cool. Shout out to that guy. I'm sure he's gonna celebrate by banging 85 chicks on a private island, but that's just what I assume is gonna happen. Um. Uh. Um. What else? Yeah, that's all I got, man. Is that like I think parents are using Prince Harry as like an excuse to fuel their laziness. And it's like, thanks, Prince Harry, for giving all these Careberry ass, like, stupid parents something to get behind. I'm proud of you, you fucking dick.
They just want a scapegoat.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they gave all, like, they're using Prince Harry, like, saying, like, see, Prince Harry knows what he's talking about. So obviously it's the video game's fault. Like, no. Prince Harry is also dumb because he should also realize that if you are a stern parent, this would not happen. You know what I mean? Like I said, it doesn't mean you have to be a complete asshole to your kids, but sometimes you gotta be a little bit of an asshole. Like at some point in time, you gotta be mean to your kid. Like, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Tough love is a thing for a reason. It's like a story that one of my uncles always tells me, right? He's like, sometimes you gotta let kids learn the hard way, right? So he had a little niece. This was a long time ago in Mexico, and she kept trying to grab the embers out of the fire pit where they were cooking, like the little coals. And he's like, I kept telling her, like, stop, stop, stop. You're gonna burn yourself. You're gonna burn yourself. You're gonna burn yourself. She wouldn't. She wouldn't. So it got to the point where I grabbed one, right, and I was like, if you grab this, you're gonna burn yourself. And like I had it in my hand, and I was showing her like in the thing, right, like she's gonna burn. On this is hot. Like stop. And then like I like put it like I think he said like on like a piece of meat, and it was going like tss, right. Like see, it's hot. Like stop it. And then she was like 8 years old, so she like understood, or like maybe not 8, maybe like 6 or around like 5 to 8, right? I don't remember. I haven't seen this guy in a while. And he said that finally she started going, and he's just like, okay, whatever, go ahead, grab it. And then she grabbed it and she burnt her hand, right? Fucking obviously, it's a fucking coal. It's hot. And then she dropped it and she started crying. And then like his mom was like gonna go comfort her, and he's like, no, 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 no. I told her 1,000 times not to touch that fucking thing. She touched it. Now let her cry over it because it's her fault. You know what I mean? Guess what? Little girl never grabbed a fucking piece of coal out of the fire pit again. Easy peasy. Like, I know now in today's age, he'd probably be in jail, right? For abusive parenting. But it's like, sometimes you gotta be mean to your kids because they need to realize that it's not all fucking sunshines and rainbows. And that, like, maybe one day when your kid's on the street, he's gonna fuck with the wrong person and shit's gonna go down in a more extreme way, and you're gonna be fucking crying that your kid's in the hospital because he fucked with the wrong person. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Maybe the video game addiction turns into like a cocaine addiction. And the problem is that you didn't fucking teach your kid that you need to take things in moderation. You know what I mean? That you need to be careful with things because they become addicting. You know what I'm saying? Because you just let your fucking kid have whatever the fuck he wanted. You know? Like just like imagine these kids that I like talked to about in school, right? Where they're not afraid of anybody because they believe that no one can touch them. And let's say they're on the street, right? And they fuck with the wrong dude who has a gun. And that guy kills the kid, disappears. What are the mom and dad going to be doing after he's dead? Oh, my baby. Oh, my kid. How could... We need to ban all guns because my kid got shot because of a gun. No, your kid got shot because he was being a fucking punk to the wrong person because he believes he's untouchable. And he realized that bullets don't give a fuck who you think you are. They will go through you and they will kill you. You know what I mean? Like, they don't give a shit if you're the fucking most badass kid at your high school. They will still fuck you up. It is a bullet. It does not give a shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I understand that's like an extreme example of like your kid dying, but it's to that point where if your kid is not afraid of consequences, that is a huge possibility. You know what I mean? Like, let's say he starts like fucking like your kid's like kind of a bully, and he's like dogging on kids for their clothes, right? And then he dogs on some guy for his clothes, and the guy's like what the fuck, right? Like shut the fuck up, kid, you know? And then your kid takes it offensively, and now he's like, oh fuck you, like I'll fuck you up, like blah blah, right? Boom, he's dead. Why did that happen? Because you let your kid be a little fucking punk all the time. So now he's dead. I just sure maybe you should have shown your kids there was consequences, and he wouldn't be fucking with people randomly on the fucking street. Because it's one thing to talk shit to your friends, right? It's another to talk shit to a completely random person that you don't know what the fuck they're going to do and how they're going to react. You know what I mean? It's like it's a classic case of you don't know who you're fucking with. Like, you don't know who's having a shitty day. You know what I mean? And shoots you for like the smallest fucking thing. You know what I mean? Like, there was a fucking lady in Florida, right? Luckily, it turned out to be fake, but she was pointing guns at people so that she could get through traffic. Like, she would like pull up and like put her gun like out the window to kind of like cut into lanes in traffic.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and it turned out to be fake. But let's just assume that some guy was doing that for real, and you know you think you're a badass and you don't let him in the lane, and he fucking shoots you because it's not a fake gun. It is the problem is it can be that easy at times. You know what I mean? But that just leads into a whole other discussion about guns, and I feel a whole different way about that stuff. I own guns, so it's a whole thing. But my main point is like there are consequences to your actions, and one day that kid's gonna fuck with the wrong person, end up seriously fucked up, right? And then the parents are gonna be bitching and moaning, questioning why that happened. And it's like what do you mean why did that happen? It's like when your kid's a gangbanger, right? Like you always see in like those documentaries where the kids are like, yeah, it's just retaliation. We kill one of theirs and we they kill one of ours. This is how it goes, right? It's like, okay. And then the mom's crying because her kid got killed. Like, yeah, your kid was in a gang war. Shit, he's gonna get killed. They understand that. You know what I mean? Like, they're okay with it. And then it's like, how could this happen? Like that. Like it just did. It's the same like concept. Like if your kid's a little fucking punk and then he ends up in the hospital in a coma because he got half beaten to death by a group of people that were clearly a lot less afraid of him than vice versa. Like, maybe you shouldn't let your kid be a fucking punk all this time. Like, I guarantee you that like this kid that we keep murdering, like theoretically, if when he was talking like shit to his teacher, the teacher was allowed to backhand him, or like let's say less extreme, put him on the ground, right, like body slam him.
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't be going around fucking around with strangers, because if the teacher body slammed you, some random dude at the park, who knows what he's gonna do to you. You know what I mean? So then in your mind you're like, it's not worth me getting fucking murdered over talking shit to this guy. You know what I mean? Like, you understand, like, the consequence is not worth like the action that I'm doing. Like robbing a bank to some people is worth all that time in jail because they're gonna make so much money if they succeed. But it's like, I'm never gonna rob a bank because I don't want to go to fucking jail for all that time. Like, I'm cool. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's the same concept that I think that parents aren't instilling in their kids. And then you got people like fucking Prince Harry blaming it on the video game company who was just smart and took advantage of your stupid ass parents. Because they're not taking advantage of the kids, in my opinion. Like, they're taking advantage of the parents because somebody's got to bankroll these kids. You're not 12 years old supplying your own internet, power, Xbox and fucking money to buy loot boxes. Like, you're not doing that. If you're like a 22-year-old and you have a video game addiction, maybe we can have a different discussion. But when you're fucking 13 and you spend $100 on loot boxes, that is your parents' fault. How the fuck did you get those $100? You know what I mean? The only way that it's like not your parents' fault is if you stole their credit card. But even then, put that little fucker in jail overnight. Give him a good little scare. Maybe you shouldn't fucking steal people's credit cards, you fucking little maniac. Like, I don't know. It fucking blows my mind. The parents are like blaming video games and like the youth of the nation for being little shits and being like addicted to video games. But
I'm not
they
really surprised
yeah, but they take no action to
because
discipline their kids.
it's just easy to blame stuff like video games.
Yeah, it's super simple. Yeah, I don't know. Just like I think it blows my mind because it's such a massive amount of people. You know what I mean? It's not like that 1% of people and everyone else is like they're just fucking stupid. Just let them be stupid. You know what I mean? Like it is an overwhelming amount of people blaming like the video game when again the simplest way to stop video game addiction is not letting your kids play video games. Like it's as easy as that. You know what I mean? And then you're right. It just comes down to the fact it's like it's easier to hand your phone to your kid while you're shopping for groceries than it is to fucking chill them out. It's like sometimes you just gotta deal with your fucking kids, dude. Like you just got like my friend that said that he's like my kid like kicks and screams about it. Don't let him play any Mario Kart. It's like look at that. Crazy how simple it is. You just let the little kid fucking kick and scream as he's going to do. But then he's gonna soon understand because he says that he tells him he's like the more you cry, the less I'm gonna let you play, right? And that the little kid's like I don't care, and he's like okay then you keep crying and we're not gonna tomorrow we're not gonna play again. And then he's like blah, blah, blah. And he's like okay you want to make it 3 days that you can't play, and then like he's like the kid kind of starts to get it, you know, and he starts to kind of calm down. You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, no shit. It's crazy how like if your kid starts kicking and screaming, you're like, all right, tomorrow you're not gonna play either. And you start kicking and screaming more, you give them more consequence, and you make them realize that it's not worth crying over the fucking video game, because then you won't get to play the video game. Like fucking like magic. So you know what? It's almost like projects.
What?
It's almost like being a parent. Crazy. Like it's fucking insane. It's fucking crazy mode. Like I've met people who who are like my age or like a year older than me who have like kids now, and they say like they do shit that I think is like pretty fucking smart, right? And this is the youth, right? This is like the 20-year-olds, the millennials who are like ruining the world. Which I agree. Some millennial things I agree are fucking insane, but these are the parents whose kids are like 4 years old. That like their kid likes playing like Angry Birds or some shit, right? And that they only let them play on the weekend. Like that they have like a kid's tablet, but they only give it to them Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You know what I mean? And then the rest of the week, they can like watch TV and like play with like their toys and stuff like that, but they can't play the game. They can't play the tablet. And then even like the TV, it's like all right after we eat and like you've done your homework, then you can like watch the TV or whatever. And it's like, crazy how if you give your kid things in moderation, he understands that, some things have to be used in moderation. Fucking crazy, huh? It's insane. Like, I don't let my kid play video games all day, so he's not addicted to playing video games all day. Fucking magic.
It's almost like proper parenting.
It's almost. I don't know. When I saw that shit, like Like I don't use like Twitter or anything like that, right? But I saw that it popped up on my phone because the Samsung Internet app. So not like Google Chrome, but the one that comes like standard on any like Samsung phone.
Yeah.
Even though Chrome comes standard, but that comes standard on any Android phone. Anyway, it sends me alerts, and I used to turn them off, but now I turn them on because sometimes it sends me shit. I'm like, oh, look at that, right? And it's like Prince Harry looks to ban out Fortnite, and I looked at it, and I was like out loud, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like just like I was just standing there, and I just like look at my phone, I just like out loud, like, are you fucking kidding me? And it's like it should say Prince Harry gives lazy parents cop out. That's what the fucking headline should be. Prince Harry gives lazy parents scapegoat.
That'd make people riled up. That
That
would get some
piss
clicks. I don't know why they don't do that.
yeah, that'd piss some people off. That would piss off the parents who are looking for a scapegoat. Like, but that's at the end of the day, that's what it is. Like, you need to give your kid consequences and teach them that there's fucking boundaries. And the fact that we're in a world where that is frowned upon is the fucking problem, not the youth of today. Right? It's going to get worse because now the youth of today, right? The youth of today will become parents, and they're going to, act like their parents did and just hand their kids cell phones and shit like that, right? But it was caused by the people who are complaining about the youth. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, oh, this younger generation's a piece of shit. You raised this younger generation. It is your fault as much as theirs. If not, in my opinion, more. Like, you are a product of your upbringing. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I fucking feel. Like, if you raise your kid to always be indoors, chances are he's not going to be a fucking hiker and mountain climber. You know what I mean? It's like, if you take your kid out and ride bikes with him every Saturday, you guys go out and you ride bikes on a trail, chances are he's going to start liking riding his bike, and that leads to the same thing I was just talking about. You fucking give your kid video games, chances are he's going to play the video game that you gave him, that you gifted him. You know what I mean? It's like that picture of you. Remember that picture of you with the N64 controller when you were like fucking 3 years old?
Oh yeah.
And it's like you can like if your parents are ever like, I don't know why he plays so many video games. Like, I don't know, maybe because he started at 3 years old because you gave him a Nintendo 64. Like, maybe that's why.
True.
I don't know.
I
Then
don't think the
again,
controller was plugged in that picture as well, though.
it doesn't matter. It's not the point I'm making.
I'm just saying.
The point I'm making is that you gave the kid the thing that you're complaining about. I don't know. All in all, take your kids' video games away if you're tired of them playing video games, right? If your kid's being a little shit, give the school permission to fucking drop his ass. And don't be surprised when your kid gets fucking dropped for being a little shit. I don't know. I just feel like parents are using Fortnite as an excuse to be lazier parents, and then they're gonna complain that their kids are fucking like worthless. And it's like, you raised that worthless kid. Like, what does that mean for you? You know what I mean? What does that say about you that you raised this worthless kid? Like, you allowed this to happen. You know what I mean? It's like, no, that's how I see it. I know that you don't have full control of your kids, that you can't always like mold them perfectly how you want them to, but you can steer them in the right directions. But like, if you basically just like hand them the keys to the car and then get out and be like, well, have fun, and then leave, you can't fucking complain on which direction they go. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But if you sit in the car and you guide them the proper way, then you can complain like, I was a decent parent. My kid just mentally unstable and murdered 85 people. But no, but seriously, like parents are getting fucking lazy, and they're just looking for excuses and then complaining because they don't want to fucking take action and do some shit. Um, Kids are getting worse, but I believe, in my opinion, it is as much as like the people who are raising them's fault. You know, we need to stop being a bunch of fucking Care Bears and start dropping kids in schools. We need to start getting fucking thrown on the ground like a bunch of sacks of potatoes. I guarantee you that if a kid gets hostile in class, the teacher drops his ass, and the teacher comes to school the next day, and the other student doesn't, nobody's gonna step to that fucking teacher no more because they know they're gonna get fucking dropped. You know what I mean? Like, unless they have some crazy brilliant plan to drop this fucking teacher, they know this teacher is ready to fucking drop them. You know what I mean? It's like, how many of you guys are gonna risk looking like a little bitch to your teacher that you fucking draw stupid pictures of all day, make fun of, and then he fucking makes you look like a little weakling? You know what I mean? So start dropping kids in school and start dropping your kids' Xbox off the second story window. I guarantee you, if you destroy the Xbox, there will be no video games in your house. I know it sounds like a fucking far-fetched plan and crazy, and like it may not happen, that if you destroy the video games in your house, there will be no video games. But just try it. Maybe don't destroy the Xbox. Maybe sell it or something. Because it'd be stupid of you to just blow it up. Or therapeutic. I don't know. Go fucking blow it up in the desert. That's what I would do. Anyway. I've ranted about this enough. We have reached the normal time for this stream. Drop kids in school and drop Xboxes off second story windows. That's the fucking that's the title of this stream. It's time
kicking kids.
It's time to drop kick kids and Xboxes. That's 2019. No, 2020, because we're already too far in 2019. Right? 2019, drop kick kids and drop kick Xboxes. Easy peasy, lemon to the
and
fucking squeeze.
PlayStations or PCs.
Drop kick video game players. Drop kick kids and drop kick consoles. I don't know. They're fucking. Today's been a weird day. I'm leaving before I start saying some more dumb shit. You guys have a good one. Bye bye.